Hello and welcome to my F1 24 driver career mode, here today for part 48 for the Brazilian Grand Prix, for what could be the title decider for Max Verstappen. The gap is 82 points back to us in the Drivers' World Championship. There's 85 points left available. We have to finish inside the top 3 if Max wins the sprint. Alonso can't win the championship on countback, so he is out. So it is dry conditions for the sprint race here in Brazil. Qualifying for it, we come up to the line. Our first one puts us P5. And then our second one coming up to the line, we're found 3 tenths of a second. We come up to the line, we've got to P8, we're going to go back to P5. And then we didn't improve by the end, but a lot of drivers around us did. And then we're going to come up to the line with 7 tenths down, and we're going to start this sprint race P15.
World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Perez, Hamilton, Gasly, Albon, Ocon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Stroll, Brown, Joe, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Sargent and Yuki Tsunoda. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We will soon find out.
So here we go then. We're going to have to do the race of our lives if we want to keep the title alive. We're racing here for the sprint race. We haven't got the best of starts when they contact there with the Haas. We're going to go down the inside of the Sauber. The other Sauber there is doing a lovely dive bomb, and you've got a couple of cars there. He's held us up, we've had to lift. We're side by side with the RB now, trying to find a way through. But the RB's got a good exit there off of turn 3 and he's got us back. We're going to try and go down the inside where we're taking there. He's got the job done. The Alpine's had to lift because of the Sauber, and we've got the job done on him as well. Now we have some flashbacks of last season. We're looking at the back of the Sauber here in the sprint race in Brazil, but we've made sure we're past him extremely quickly to get past him. Next up is the Williams of Daniel Ricciardo, down the inside of him, job done. Up next is the Mercedes of Carlos Sainz. As we make a big mistake there, we nearly drop it. That would not be good for the title, as this is Charles Leclerc getting past Max Verstappen for the lead of the sprint race here. They're side by side. Leclerc has the inside line, and it's job done for Leclerc for the lead of the sprint. Now he's coming under pressure from Fernando Alonso. Alonso could do us a hand here and help us keep the title alive, as he does, as he overtakes Max there. We're on the back now of Carlos Sainz. If there's a gap, we're going for it. Down the inside at the hairpin, job done on the Spaniard. We're past the Mercedes, a car that we're very much hoping to be in one day, but we are past the Mercedes for now. Up next is the Williams of Albon, and we're going to catch him napping down the inside. Albon has no idea until we were in front of him. Job done on the Williams. Up next is the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton. As now this is Alonso going for the lead of the sprint on Leclerc. Now has the inside line and gets the lead of this sprint race. He won the real thing back in season 1 in 2024, that chaotic race, and he's in the lead here in the sprint. Can he win it? As this is Ocon now slowing down to retire from the Grand Prix. It's all gone wrong for Alpine. It's another engine failure. How many engines do they get through in a single race weekend, let alone a season? Alonso there has been re-overtaken by Leclerc, and now he's coming under pressure from Max, who wants to win this 6th title with a sprint win. To the inside now of Fernando Alonso goes. He has the outside line, and it is job done on the Aston Martin, our teammate. And now he's on the back of Leclerc. He's getting closer and closer. but he's too far back. Time to get into turn 1, but Leclerc's going to wave him through as he locks up at turn 1 and waves Max through. You can't give an opportunity like that, and he takes the inside line and retakes the lead of the sprint, and he's in prime place to win now his title. As on to the final lap, we just had absolutely no pace. We used the tyre too early on, I think, as we're 3 wide into turn 1. Sainz got the job done. We've somehow kept Albon behind, and Albon's actually been done by Ricciardo there, his teammate, in the process as well there. But we're still ahead of the Williams somehow, but Sainz is through and Sainz has gone. But here he is then, Max Verstappen. He's been absolutely dominant this season. May have not won every single race like in the past, but he comes up to the line to become a 6-time champion of the world. He wins the sprint just in front of Charles Leclerc and Fernando Alonso. And we are going to come home then for P11. We did everything we could, but it is all over.
Certainly been an incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion.
So that's been then your Brazil sprint race. Max Verstappen is a 6-time champion of the world. He's now one off equaling Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton. We tried our best to keep it going, but it's at this point now, you look back at Spa, Zandvoort, Monza and Baku, all those points we dropped have cost us the chance of the title, and now it's all over after we finished the sprint P11. Then down at the back there was one retirement in the sprint. It was Esteban Ocon, and Lance Stroll was the final finisher of the day. This is the Drivers' Championship, 88 points. The gap between Max and Alonso in P2. Alonso has jumped us as well in the sprint. Leclerc has closed in on us as well. So into qualifying then for the real thing, the race. The sunny skies of the sprint have been replaced by a very rainy sky, but the rain is stopping. The track is very slowly drying. Our first run was on the full wet, our second run is on the inters, and we've moved up there. We found nearly 7 seconds on that lap, and now we've found another second on this lap as the track is drying. As we get closer and closer up to the line, closer, and that only puts us P6. Now fresh set of inters, but we have set the first lap here. We come up to the line and it's provisional pole position, and then by the end of the next lap we only found 2 tenths, but we've dropped all the way down and we're going to start the race P15.
Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Russell, Gasly, Perez, Hamilton, Brown, Ricciardo, Norris, Albon, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Tsunoda, Stroll, Joe, Sargent and Esteban Ocon lines up at the back of the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
So Max on pole, now he's a 6-time champion. Can he win his first race? And we're racing here in Brazil for the race. We haven't got the best of starts. We're side by side with the Williams. We're going to go down the inside of the Ferrari with Lewis Hamilton. We've taken a big bit of curb there, as now we look to go to the outside, as we've gained a couple of paces there. As now we try and look to the inside of Piastri, he covers us off. We now try and get him round the outside. He's going to send us the long way round. We nearly drop it, we nearly go into the side of Piastri there. But Piastri has just kept his nose ahead, and he is ahead of us. And it's all over that battle, unless we can have him back down the inside. There's wheel-to-wheel contact there. We are through on Piastri, and Gasly there nearly finding a way through as well on the McLaren, but he couldn't. And now we're on the back of George Russell in the Mercedes. To the inside we go, and there's contact, but the game saved because of ghosting. That could have ended very nasty. The game has helped us out there. Otherwise that would have been quite a big crash with the team we want to be in one day, as now we come back under pressure from George Russell. This time it's clean, and this time he gets us into turn 1. Not much we could do about there. Piastri waiting in the ring, so any slight mistake we make, a little bit too far back to do anything here. We also have the DRS off of George Russell. We're too far back to have another go at him into turn 4. Now though, we're on the back of George to try and get him back down the inside. We catch him napping at the hairpin, and we get the job done. But now he's going to keep it pinned to the inside. We can't keep it pinned round the outside, and George has us back there as we try now to get him back, but we're too far back. This is Sainz going for it on Perez. Perez making a couple of appearances of the season in the late stages, as Sainz gets the job done on Perez there. And now up towards the line they go. We're getting closer and closer and closer towards turn 4. There goes George to the inside, and it's forced Perez wide, and now we're going to try and get Perez here. Can we keep it pinned to the outside? Perez has kept us behind him. Piastri has walked through there as we try and get him back down the inside as quickly as possible. Piastri though is going to have the inside line, and we can't keep it around the outside like we could in the opening lap to keep Piastri behind, and we've dropped back a bit, and now we're going to have to be cautious because of Gasly in the Alpine, as there's a lock up there for Carlos Sainz, and he's held up Piastri, and we're going to do the double move and get back past both of them there. Piastri has to anchor up to avoid hitting the Mercedes, and we're back past both of them, as this is Sainz now trying to get us back here. We're going to be 3 wide into turn 1. Piastri on the inside, there's nearly contact. There is contact, there's sparks flying and everything. Piastri gets the job done on both of us. We've lost out to both of them. We're down back to where we were before the Sainz lock up as we try and go back down the outside of Sainz. We're off the track. We're side by side with Sainz. Can we get the exit? We're still there, but we are going to have to back out because Sainz slams the door shut on us there. Now this is Piastri trying to get coming into pressure from Sainz, and Sainz backs out of it. As now this is Sainz going for it again on Oscar Piastri. He's getting closer and closer to the back of him as we come under pressure from Gasly. Gasly's too far back. It's another lock up there, and that time it's by Piastri, and Sainz is through unless Piastri can keep it pinned to the inside, which he can't, and he's backed out of it. So this is Sainz now at the end of lap 15, going to box to make his one and only stop of the day. We're going to stay out 1 extra lap. Here we are now into the pits to make our one and only stop. Just up the road is George. We're followed in by Hamilton, Albon and Lando in the McLaren. So we tumble down the pit lane. You can see the rear tyres were screaming a bit. But the softs go off, the mediums go on very, very slowly on the front right. We've lost loads of time. We're going to have to wait for Alpine there before we're allowed back in the fast lane of the pit lane. We've lost out a lot of positions there. We've lost out to Hamilton and Albon, and now it's going to be game on to get back to where we were. That's very, very frustrating. Where are we going to come out now? We're going to come out behind the RB of Lance Stroll. We're miles back from Hamilton and Albon, who we were miles in front of. That slow stop completely ruined our race. This is Piastri now boxing for his one and only stop. He's followed him Perez. He's actually going to beat out Perez. So good stop by McLaren, poor one for Red Bull. But the main question is now, where are we going to come out relative to Piastri? We're going to be miles back from him compared to where we was. But just how far back? That is the question. As through goes the two Mercedes there. Piastri's through the picture, and there we are, just coming round. We're absolutely miles behind Piastri. We don't probably need to worry about him anymore, as down the inside we go on Lance Stroll. The battle now is probably just for a point, so we need to get down the road after Hamilton and Albon and hopefully do something with them, hopefully get both of them, as now this is Bottas in his Sauber, slowing down to retire from the Grand Prix as he goes up the hill. He's pulling over. His day is over in the Sauber. As now, this is Lewis Hamilton having a little look at Albon there to the outside. He's nearly got alongside on the outside, but he can't get the job done. And that has brought us into play a little bit, because we were struggling to get close to the Albon-Hamilton battle with the DRS, so we were struggling a bit. So now we're right on the back of Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton's going to try and get past Albon here. He's going to go late to the inside, and we're going to do the double move down the inside. We saw the gap, so we went for it. We're past Lewis Hamilton, we're past Albon. Hamilton couldn't get the job done. We've gained 2 places, but now Albon's got a better exit than we have. And he's going to absolutely blitz us there like we're not even there, unless we can keep it pinned round the outside. But Albon slams the door shut and gets us back. But it was a good move while it lasted. But we've only actually gained 1 then to Lewis Hamilton. He's dropped back quite a bit here, and we're going to swap Albon the dummy, try and go to the outside of our former teammate. We now have the inside line. He's forced us over the curb. We're going to have to go back to the outside line for turn 3. Going through the centre S's, and Albon is ahead of us. We're going to be 3 wide again, because Hamilton has got the double slipstream now to try and go round the outside. We've got the job done. We've kept Hamilton behind. We've briefly gone off the track. Albon's had to really back out of it, but we're through. But we couldn't break the DRS, and this is what was really starting to hurt us. As now Albon goes back to the inside, we really squeezed into the inside. We're past though, and finally we broke away and got away, as Hamilton now is going for Albon, trying to get around the outside. Can he get the job done on the Williams? Has the inside line through the centre S's, and it's job done by the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton there. They head down towards turn 4. I think Albon's just a little bit too far back to have a go, and he is. It's game over for Albon. He actually has damage to that front right end plate there, as this is Fernando Alonso miles up the road, 5 seconds up the road, but he's slowing down now because he's got a puncture. He's got a puncture on the front right tyre. A win for our team is going to be slipped away, and it's a second win in Brazil for Alonso slipping away. And Leclerc takes over the lead of the Grand Prix. It's been gift wrapped with a bow for him, the lead of the Grand Prix, and probably so late on the win of the Grand Prix as well. Pirelli are going to have to give us some answers as a team to what has happened here with the puncture on the front right. It is the tyre that hurts the most round anti-clockwise track, but there's only a couple high-speed corners around here. A puncture on the front right tyre should not be happening. It's ruined Alonso's day. He's going to drop all the way down the road to P13 after leading most of this race. Awful for him, but it does help us ever so slightly in the Drivers' Championship as well. But the final lap, Charles Leclerc gift wrapped the win here today. It's going to be back-to-back wins for him in Brazil. After last season, he wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's going to be P2 to Oscar Piastri. It's a great drive for him in the McLaren. It's a good result for McLaren with Lando P3, and we're going to come home. We held off Hamilton and Albon to finish P9.
What a drive! What a driver! Charles Leclerc takes the victory!
Well, it's never easy and straightforward to put a race like this together today, but they did the best job out there. They used the information wisely and they stayed on the track. That was the most important thing.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
So that's been then your Brazilian Grand Prix, won by Charles Leclerc. A bit of luck involved with that issue with the puncture for Fernando Alonso. Piastri then, great race for him, is P2, and then Lando P3. It was George P4, Max P5, but he's checked out now with the championship. I doubt he really cares that he's P5 today. He won the sprint as well. We are P9 then, a bit of a disappointing day after the pit stop. It could have been a little bit more, but we didn't really have the pace this weekend, especially compared to Alonso as well. Though we still do beat Alonso with that issue. He finishes P11. Albon, I said he had damage, dropped all the way down to P13. Hamilton in P10. And then down at the back, Bottas was the one and only retirement of the day. And Logan Sargent, for not the first time this season, was the final finisher of the day. So this is the Drivers' World Championship then. Leclerc has jumped both us and Fernando Alonso to take P2 in the drivers. 85 points is the gap to Leclerc. We've also re-jumped Alonso because of that puncture, otherwise we could be a long way behind, but as it stands we are 8 points in front of Alonso, and then down at the back there's still a couple of drivers still yet to score, and it's Logan Sargent who is bottom. And then in terms of the constructors, and Red Bull have extended the lead out a bit more over us. It was 17 points coming into this weekend. The gap now 35 points. It's less than a 1-2 for us, but Red Bull have really turned up this second half of the season, so it's going to be hard to win the constructors now. And then it's just Haas who are still yet to score this season. So that's been then your Brazilian Grand Prix race weekend. The champion has been crowned. Max Verstappen is a 6-time champion of the world. Fight now is on for P2 in the drivers. We go though to Portugal next for the first time since 2021, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.